Good evening everyone. In this video we are going to discuss powder metallurgy. So steps in powder metallurgy, advantages of the powder metallurgy as well as the powder production techniques, mechanical production, powder production techniques. So these are all the topics we are going to discuss over here. First we are going to discuss the powder metallurgy. So the powder metallurgy can be defined as the science of production metal powders and making the semi-finished to semi-finished and finished objects from the individual or mixed or alloy powders with addition of non-metallic constituents. So it will be addition or otherwise without addition also it's possible over here. So in this one the production of powder metallurgy parts involve the mixing of element or alloy powders with the additive and lubricants. So compacting the mixture in a suitable dye and heating the resulting green compacts in a controlled atmosphere furnace. So it has to bond the particles metallurgical. So nowadays and almost some of the gears and other things they can going to manufacture with the help of this powder metallurgy method. So which are all the raw material it has to be made. So those raw material it crushed and it make it into the powder form, and with the help of the suitable dye due to the punching operation the required shape we are going to get over there. Then after during the heating and cooling process the particular component get hardened and the tough, the mechanical strength it may increased over there. So like this way this powder metallurgy it will be works over here. So in this one it offers the flexibility, minimize the segregation, and it will be ability to produce the graded microstructure. Okay, so in this microstructure it will varies the physical and mechanical property depends upon our own this one specification. Then comes into here mainly in the use of the powder metallurgy. It is increase the quality and cost. So cost it may reduce, and precision of the product it will be high, as well as productivity also it will be increased, so that they may use over in this powder metallurgy method. So for the next we are going to discuss about the steps in powder metallurgy. So the powder metallurgy technical is not new one. Even it may use in the ancient time also. So nowadays we know the importance of this powder metallurgy, and also we can produce the more components. But in the olden days also, in the 3000 BC itself, it will going to manufacture like a sponge iron for the tools and the other implementation they use over there. Then the 1200 AD they will be used for the cementing and noble metals. So for that it may used, and in the nowadays it may use for intermetallics, metal matrix composites, and spray foaming and nanoscale powder and warmth compaction. It may be used over there. So like this in the early 3000 BC to nowadays up to 1990s. So this may be powder metallurgy, various forms they may use, various techniques they will be used over there, and it may added over into the various components over there. Okay, so that no, it is not the new one. So nowadays we can use this one for the some of the automobile and some other applications they may use over this powder metallurgy one. So the next thing we are going to discuss about the steps in powder metallurgy. So in the steps in powder metallurgy, it have some 4 steps, that is the powder production and compaction, sintering, and secondary other finishing operations. First, we are going to discuss about the powder production. So in the powder production, mainly here the raw material for the powder metallurgy components is mainly it is on the powder form. So this powder are made it in the engineering materials, and it since they are manufactured to precise the specification to facilitate the subsequent processing. So this powder is used for the pure metallurgy elements, used for the pure elements, and it will be blends as well as in the pre-alloyed powder also used. So the choice of the starting material is influenced by the product type and the lesser extent by the fabrication process to be used over here. So the several production methods are available for making powders. So that's what to crushing the powders they may use for several methods. Mainly they will use for the automation method. So around 80 percentage of the powder materials they'll be made it in this method. So in this method it will produce the both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. So mainly the specially powders like stainless steel super alloys as well as titanium alloy powders are also made with this automation techniques. So on nickel based alloy, these are all the things also they may use for in this method. Okay, so this is about the powder production. And also in the powder production, it will be tested by the properties like size, flow, density and compressibility before the being compacted over here. So powder characterization, it will be vary the importance of the powder characteristics influence the both the compaction behavior as well as the properties of the green and sintered parts over here. So it is the powder production method steps. Then comes into the next thing is the compaction. So compaction is the powder of mixture is generally carried out in the using dies, so as well as the machine to close the tolerances. So in this area it will used. So dies are made typically from the die steel or some of the cemented carbides over here. The equipment used for compaction includes mechanical or hydraulic presses. So this one later it will be being more common due to their safe operation on the flexibility. So the die design is important and must ensure the ejection of compact. The powder type and its characteristic influence the compaction of pressure. So the basic purpose of the compaction is to produce the green compact with the sufficient strength to withstand the further handling operations. So mainly in this one, the pressed part usually called as a green compact, and then taken for sintering. Then consolidation of the powder may also be carrying out the high temperature over here. So hot extrusion, hot pressing, and hot isostatic processing is the example for this particular category. So this is about the compaction step. Then comes into the next thing, sintering. In the sintering method, the green compact is carried out in the furnace under the controlling of atmosphere. So it is used to bond the particle to metallurgical purpose. So sintering is carried out the temperature about uh, about the 70 percentage of absolute melting point of the material. So bonding occurs in the diffusion of atoms, giving a integrity of to the compact. So in other words, the sintering we can say that serves to consolidate the mechanically bonded ponders into coherent body having a desired service properties. Shrinkage occurs during the sintering, resulting is densification of the part over here. So the densification enables significant improvement in the physical and mechanical properties of the part. So sinterings can be carried out variety of furnace over here. Okay, so mesh belt furnaces are most common type are used in here. So they are maintaining the temperature of around some 1200 degree centigrade over here. So, and also walking beam and pusher type of furnaces can be used to still higher temperature over here. So this is about the centering. uh, step. Then comes into the next one, secondary and other finishing operations. So here the sintered part may be subjected to one or more secondary or filling operations. So these are used to ensure the close dimensional tolerance, improve the surface finish, and increase the density and improve the corrosion resistance. So mainly what are the operations it will be include means that is the repressing, grinding and planting, and recentering also it can done more in this secondary and other finishing operations. So these are all the steps it will involved in the powder metallurgy process. First powder production, second compaction, third sintering, and finally secondary and other finishing operations. Then comes into the advantages. So mainly it will be eliminate and minimize the machining operations. So why? Because of in the machining operation we are going to remove the material. So here the powder metallurgy with the help of like some pressing machine are going to create the liquid shape regarding about the uh, die shape. So material it may be used. So here wastage of the material it will be minimized over here. That is the main advantages. So the tolerance, mainly the die shape, if it provided good die shape, so normally the tolerance and everything it will be occupied exactly. Okay. And also here due to the uh, cutting tool, maybe tolerance is not possible to reduce over here. Okay, because of according to the die shape, the exact shape as well as the dimensions you can get in the workplaces, so that it have high tolerance dimensions. So it will provide the good surface finish and it will be environment friendly over there. Okay. So in the metallurgical advantages, uh, they may use for the powders with uniform chemical composition with the desired characteristics resulting from the absence of segregation during the solidification. So these characteristics will be reflected in the finished part. That is the one advantages. Then parts controlled the porosity. So these are all the advantages of the this metallurgical advantages for the powder metallurgy. Now, then comes into the mechanical powder production techniques. So in the chopping techniques, so here it strands the hard steel wire in diameter will be small as from certain small in the point decimals. So it will be cut the small pieces by means of with the help of the some of the milling cutter, and it will be employed to manufacturing the cut wire shorts which may be used for in the short killing method. So main disadvantages in this method is the costliest method, as well as it is difficult one. Okay, so this is about the chopping. So in the next one is the abrasion methods. It is also called it as rubbing method. So here in the rubbing or abrasion method, there are three methods are there. One is the rubbing of two surfaces, and another one is the final one is the scratching over here. So in the rubbing of two surfaces method, so usually we are going to rub the two surfaces against each other, so the hard surface is removes the material from the surface of soft material. So it is a natural process. Normally in the machining process we will see hard material as a cutting tool, it will be remove the soft material in the workplace. Same like here also. The next thing is the filling. So it is the production method has been frequently employed over here. It will be especially the mainly used for to alloy powders, and it will be supplies to the conventional sources have been unobtained. Such methods are also used to manufacture the coarse powder and dental alloys. So this is The filling can also used to produce the finer powder of the teeth or smaller. This is about the filling. Then comes into the machining method. So sorry, scratching. So it hard to pin the rubbed on some soft metals, as well as in this method the powder flakes are produced. The scratching is technique actually used to large scale for preparation of coarse magnesium powders or yeah. Okay, so this is about the scratching. Then comes into the milling. So here it will be application of to impact the shear forces between the two materials, so hard and soft. So here soft material it will be removed by the hard materials. Okay, so this is about the milling process. So these are all the production techniques. So here in the figure it will be shows the ball milling process. So here it will be contains the cylindrical vessel. It will be rotating actually. So it will be rotating horizontally with the axis, and this length of the cylinder are more or less equal to the diameter. So here the vessel is charged into the grinding metals during the rolling of vessel over here. Then the grinding media and powder particles roll from the some height over here. The process grinds the powder materials and impact the collision and as well as attrition. This is about the ball milling process. So the next thing is the chemical production techniques. So in the chemical production techniques, almost all metallic elements can produced in the form of powders by suitable chemical reaction and or decomposition, because usually some of the thing normally it will not make the powder because of it is hard, so to depend upon it will going to react with some of the chemical reagent, maybe it will be converted into the powder state. So mainly the chemical methods are based to decomposition of the compound into the element form with the heating or with the help of the some catalyst over here. So there are two main methods they may use for in the chemical production techniques over here. Okay, so one is the reduction metal oxide. So that is here. So the particular oxides by use of the reducing agents is one of the most widely used in the oldest method for producing the metal powder over here. So here mainly the other compounds they may used for hydrates, oxalates, as well as formats can also used for starting the material for reduction over here. So here if you see the some of the MO plus H2 means it will be converted into water, and M it will be separated. Okay, so while reacting with each other, magnesium oxide as magnesium oxide plus hydrogen means it will be converted like a M plus H2. Like this it will be works. Okay, so with that this topic get over. Thank you.